The LDS Temple in Idaho Falls is shutting down for a year and a half. When its doors will close and where members will be asked to go during the closure.
Just last week, a local man was killed in a train versus truck crash. Today, officers were on a train to remind drivers, be careful when you come to the railroad crossing.
Gas prices are way down. Is that a good thing, though, when it comes to holiday travel plans and shopping? Local News 8 at 6 starts now.
You're watching Local News 8 at 6. Local people, local news.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. The 69-year-old Idaho Falls Temple will be closing the first part of next year for 18 months. Today, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints announced on its website the temple will be closed from March 16th, 2015 to October of 2016 for renovations.
Now, following the renovations, the temple will be rededicated and open to the public. The Rexburg Temple is preparing to accommodate all the members from the Idaho Falls Temple during the renovation, and no word yet on what exactly is going to be renovated. The LDS Church is also closing the Freiburg, Germany Temple for renovations, so it'll be closed in February from 2015 to May of 2016.
Local law enforcement and Union Pacific teamed up today in an effort to educate people on railway safety. The event is called Officer on a Train. The point is to prevent crashes like the deadly one last week in Shelley.
Well, it was such a sad thing to have happened. Local News 8's Natalie Schaefer spent the afternoon on the train with the troopers. And Natalie, did you see some people breaking the law?
Carol, I actually saw firsthand some drivers making some very dangerous decisions. A gate similar to this one just missed one driver trying to beat the train.
See that guy? He just ran the stoplight. That gate almost came down on him.
Those are the type of violations that we're really targeting out here.
But writing tickets isn't the point of today's operation, Officer on a Train.
It's about educating the public. In my mind, a perfect day would be no citations.
Those involved want to keep drivers safe. And in these types of crashes, it's not just the driver who is affected.
Engineers and the conductors on the trains many times tell us about the stories of the train crashes that they've been involved with, and a lot of them wear those scars on their shoulders.
Now you're going to find people saying that, well, the train's big and it's really solid, there's a lot of steel. Of course the train crew's safe. Well, yeah, physically. Mentally, we live with it the rest of our lives.
Kim Davids has experienced some of these crashes.
It's kind of like being at war. You have that same effect, post-traumatic stress syndrome, and it just keeps coming back and coming back.
You see people who make these violations and they're crossing the tracks when they're not supposed to be. How does that make you feel?
Well, it's frustrating because we know, the train crew knows that this stuff is totally preventable.
It's important to remember that trains cannot stop on a dime. It's up to the drivers to stay clear of the tracks. Live in Idaho Falls, I'm Natalie Schaefer.
All right, thank you, Natalie. And again, you know, the officers on a train, that's not a big game for them trying to write tickets. The point is to educate people because they would like to save your life.
That's right. Well, time now to check in with First Alert's Chief Meteorologist, Michael Coates. So you saw those big snowflakes coming down on Natalie's live shot there.
Yeah, we're getting more of the scattered snow and rain coming through here. This is not a major storm. Like I mentioned last night, we're just going to get little pockets of light passing snow showers and flurries here, mixing with even a bit of some rain, and especially in the lower valley, you've seen more of that rain-snow mix. Let me take you over to First Alert Viper radar. Scattered snow showers coming across the Snake River Plain, pushing to the north. By about 10, 11 o'clock tonight, most of that will be into Island Park and getting into Montana. And we're going to clear out a little bit overnight, and then we're going to work in more passing snow showers and flurries as we go through tomorrow. In Idaho Falls, we're seeing snow with temperatures around 32 degrees, looking live to the First Alert Skycam. Calm conditions with the wind. Pocatello is more of a rain-snow mix, and we're not really accumulating any snow. We're in the lower 30s right now, but a mix of rain and snow. Calm also looking through the Farm Bureau cam with the winds and the temperatures around the region getting back into around the freezing mark for Rexburg at 28 for Driggs, 35 for Blackfoot, and lower 30s from Ladd. When I come back, I'll have more in your full forecast talking about a bit of some warmer weather just before Christmas, but for now I'll send it over to Jay and Carol.
Thank you, Mike. Be extra cautious this season when it comes to packages being delivered to your front doorstep because somebody else might get to them before you do.
Local News 8's Caitlin Ukidis joins us live in the Pocatello newsroom to address the issue of package thefts. Caitlin.
Well, that's right. You always come home waiting and expecting to see those packages waiting for you on your doorstep, but then you always have some schmuck who comes by and steals them away before you even get home.
You're making that list.
And what is that you're sending?
Even checking it twice.
Any apartment numbers?
Hoping this guy in brown pulls through by Christmas.
Thank you. Have a Merry Christmas.
But on occasion.
some Scrooges out there, I'll tell you.
Someone swipes those packages off your doorstep before you even know they're there.
A package left on a front porch, a vehicle unlocked, a purse left in a shopping cart.
All crimes of opportunity. And the Pocatello Police Department says, although we see a higher rate of these types of crimes during the holiday season, we don't see a lot of it here in Southeast Idaho. But still, don't be that guy who ends up spending Christmas feeling like a sucker.
Taking those preventative measures to eliminate those crimes of opportunity. You know, hold on to your purse, lock your car, have a trusted neighbor or a friend maybe grab your packages off your porch once they're delivered.
Even UPS advises taking that extra step to sign for your package.
Having a signature required on there, it does cost a little bit extra, but it's definitely worth the little bit of extra money to save your gifts.
Now remember, this is the busiest time of year for post offices and delivery services across the state. Now yesterday alone, the U.S. Postal Service just in Idaho delivered over 1 million packages and letters. That was just yesterday alone, here in Idaho. Reporting live in the Pocatello newsroom, I'm Caitlin Lukitas.
Very good advice. Thanks, Caitlin. We'll provide a link on our website at localnews8.com so you can track your own packages.
An Idaho Falls Maverick store was robbed by 2 people early this morning. Idaho Falls police say they were called to the store just after 4 a.m. The clerk told officers one suspect came into the store, walked behind the counter, pulled a knife, and demanded cash. The suspect left with an unknown amount of money. The second suspect never entered the store. Both left on foot, last seen heading south on Bellin Road. The suspect that entered the store is believed to be a white man between 5 feet 2 inches and 5 feet 4 inches tall. He was wearing a light blue zip-up hoodie, white shirt, jeans with holes in the knees, white sneakers, a black cap and with the white logo on it, and a blue bandana over his face. The second suspect was wearing a dark coat, jeans, black shoes, and also had their face covered. The gender of the second suspect is unknown. If you know anything about this robbery, call police at 529-1200 or Crime Stoppers at 522-1983.
Gas prices are all over the place, no matter where you are. GasBuddy.com surveyed 100,000 people to ask folks, what are you planning to do with all that money you're saving at the pump these days? 83% said they're going to use the money to pay bills, or maybe save the money. 14% said they'll spend the money on gifts. Local News 8's Chris Cole joining us live in Pocatello now with more. So, Chris, might this affect travel plans?
You know, Carol, not really. The majority of people are saying their plans are basically going to stay the same, but almost 1 out of every 4 people said that their plans might change in several different ways. So 23% of people say they're going to buy more gifts, while others say they would travel farther with any extra money. Others say that they're going to spend more on food, while others are going to treat themselves with upgraded accommodations. But when it comes to the holidays and money overall, the biggest stress isn't actually cost. 37% of people say it's the travel itself that's the worst, and 27% say the weather is what they're concerned about, while 26% say the cost is their concern. Now, GasBuddy also says the lower cost may even lead people to decide to leave earlier for their vacations or destinations because it's more affordable. Now, the busiest day of travel will be this Saturday, but Sunday is also going to be pretty busy too. And while the majority of people are planning on traveling over 500 miles, most of them are going to be doing that by car. And while there's all this talk of low prices, I asked a couple local people, and one woman says that she's going to save any extra dollars.
I think yes, probably so, because gas next year is just going to go back up over $3 or $4 a gallon maybe. You know, this is just temporary. It's not going to last.
Now, we also started a discussion on our Local News 8 Facebook page, you know, asked the question, what are you going to do with any extra money kind of thing, and people are going, well, it's not likely it's going to change, but they're also wondering about the varying gas prices even here in the area. They're saying like Blackfoot's more or something like that, but I've even seen variances here in Pocatello of even a couple cents compared to 10 or even 20 cents. Live in Pocatello, I'm Chris Cole.
You got to shop around for the cheapest place, Chris. Thank you. AAA says the average price for a gallon nationwide right now is standing at $2.53. The average in Idaho, a nickel more.
The mathletes are coming up short on numbers, but that's because they're still looking for funding to host this year's Southeast Idaho Mathletes competition. Now, the Math Counts program helps encourage kids across Southeast Idaho to further their math skills. They say every year the Mathlete competition grows and is funded purely from donations. But this year, Idaho Power is giving a grant called Powering Tomorrow Math Counts. Directors are asking the community to go online and vote for them on the Idaho Power Facebook page.
It's a great opportunity for people in Southeast Idaho to be able to support Math Counts because they won't actually have to put their hands in their pockets or open their wallets, they can just go vote for us on Facebook.
This year, the competition will be held on February 7th, and teams have until January 31st to register. I like that term, mathlete.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just as important as being an athlete is being a mathlete or a science-lete.
That's right.
Or leet.
Whatever it might be, yeah.
Coming up, marijuana may be legal in Washington, but people there are starting to fight over where it can be grown. We'll explain that later in the show.
But First Alert's Michael Coates is in first with your detailed forecast. We'll be right back.
Carol Honus, Jay Hildebrand, First Alert Chief Meteorologist Michael Coates, and Jeff Landers with Sportsline. You're watching Local News 8 at 6. Local people, local news.